Hey guys, welcome back again. Out in the shop today, working on the Miata again, finally. So the plan for today is to work on the coil wiring. I'm gonna have to address this issue here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do about that yet, but I'll figure it out. I might bend that fuel line back a little bit or bend it up possibly. I'm not sure what's gonna look best, but anyways, so coil plug wiring. I'm going to come over here, and basically this is the plan, is to take this old wiring off of this one and then clean it up, which I already did one of them. Kind of just clean this up with a rag and a little bit of water, I guess, just a damp rag, but cleaned up pretty nice. Then I'm going to put some new loom on it, make it look a little better. So yeah, I'll get started on that here. So the wiring on these, it pretty much just unclips. It's got these little clips here. Just pop them off. So take that off, and then this plug slides out. It's pretty straightforward. So I'll get this one pulled off, and then we'll start cleaning it up. Ta-da! So once again, got the harness. So I'll take this over to the other bench and clean it up. So like I said, I'm just using this rag, just a detailing rag basically. I just spray a little water on it, and I'm just wiping down the harness. Actually, first I gotta take this tape off and these clips. So get these pulled off, and then we can start cleaning it down. Alright guys, got all these clips off. There's just a bunch of these little clips that hold it on. So I'm going to take those off, but we're not going to need those anymore. So took them off. Now I'm going to clean this up. And I got a new tripod set up for my camera, so it's kind of nice. I don't have to hold it all the time now when filming stuff like this. So got both hands. So it's kind of nice. Hopefully the audio quality is a little bit better for you guys. But I'll get this one cleaned up, and then I'll start looming them, and then we'll get them on the car, see how they look. So. Alright guys, so there we have it. I got both these harnesses all cleaned up. I mean, they look a heck of a lot better than what they did. Now, I could have just bought new ones of these, but honestly, I think they're like $100 some odd for coil pack wiring. So I'm like, what the heck? I have umpteen different sets of wiring on all these engines and in my cabinet over there. So I'm like, I'll just reuse these. I'll clean them up. I'm going to put some nice loom on them to match the rest of the engine bay, and it'll look good as new. So that's why I'm reusing them. So I'll keep cleaning them up here, and I'll grab some loom, and then we'll start doing that. Alright guys, so I got the loom. I had this in the Miata, so I had to dig for it and find the right stuff. But this is the stuff I've been using inside the car. Got it on Amazon. It's called Alex Tech. It's actually some really nice stuff. Split loom. So basically, splits open. You put your wires in there. You take a lighter and just melt the ends here, and then tape them up, and it looks really nice. So they got a bunch of different sizes. I got 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch. I basically ordered every size they had. So yeah, it's some really nice stuff. So I'm going to start looming these up. So we'll see how it turns out. It should look pretty good though when it's done. It'll be better than just having this tape on here, you know. So I'll get to work on that. Alright guys, we got one of these finished up here. Looks pretty decent, I think. Turn my light off here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All loomed up. Looks a lot better than it did compared to this one. Still has the tape on it. You know, I haven't touched that one yet, but yeah, not too bad. So I'll finish up the other one, then we'll get it put on the car and see how it looks. Alright guys, well I got them all finished up here. Got them on the car. I was actually able to tuck them underneath the coil bracket, so that looks pretty clean, I think. Can't even see the wiring. Both sides. So yeah, I tucked under there. I got this one plugged in. I also bent the fuel line on the fuel rail here. Since this came, it used to come straight in line with that connector, which that wasn't going to work, so took a brake line bending tool, and I pulled this fitting off and I just bent the line back. So that just connects on like that. So, looks pretty decent. I guess the next thing I'm going to work on here is this map sensor wiring. Now the Holley Terminator has a map sensor built into it. I'll show you that quick. It's got this blue hose right here. So you just connect a vacuum line to that and it has a built-in map sensor. So you really don't need the wiring here for the external map sensor. I think this is for boosted applications. So basically I'm just going to follow that back, undo the tape, and then just pull this back into the car. I'm also going to do that with the fuel here. I think this is for fuel pressure, which I don't need that. So kind of get rid of some wiring I don't need. And then I'll figure out some sort of mount for these injector wires. I might put a little clip in this hole here. There's one there and one here. And then I might just zip tie that wiring there to the fuel rail. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I got the coil wiring harness in both sides. Like I said, I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to continue working on this wiring. I'm also going to make a mount for this plug. Now this is for the coils. I'm thinking of using this bolt here. And then what I'm going to do is take the stock mount here. This is where that plug used to slide on. I think I'm going to cut this out and then just kind of maybe make it look nice, repaint it, and then drill a hole in it so that can mount to that one bolt. That's my initial plan as of right now. So we'll see how that works. I think it'll work nice because that'll tuck it down in here nicely. But we'll see. I'll kind of work on that too. But first things first, I'm going to pull this back and just clean up the engine bay a little bit for the wiring, make it look a little nicer. So I'll get back with you. Alright guys, it's now the next day. I'm back out here again working on this. I actually got a lot done. I worked on this pretty much all night. Well, not all night, but late last night. And I ended up pulling the whole wiring harness, everything out of the car, pulled it back inside, and removed a couple plugs. I actually unloomed everything in the Holly harness for these plugs. And so I got the knock sensor, the map, since it's got a built-in one, and then the fuel pressure. I ended up just kind of pulling those back and then tucking them under the dash here. So got those out of the way. That helped clean up the engine bay a little bit. And then I took the factory Mazda grommet and I kind of cut that a little bit. Was able to slide all the wiring through that, so that fits pretty good. And then I put these little clips. It's kind of hard to see, but took these clips here, basically for zip ties. Those clipped into those holes, and then I was able to zip tie the fuel injector wiring to it. So I got those tied on there. Did the other side as well, and then I kind of zip tied this wiring together, just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. So then I was also working on these coil mounts, or not the coil mounts, but the electrical, this plug here for the coils. Basically trying to figure out the mount for that. So I took this is cut off with the factory coil mounts, and it should fit on here pretty good. I'm going to re-drill the hole because otherwise this plug sits way up here. So I'm going to re-drill the hole probably in here somewhere, and then it should bolt right on, and then that'll clip in. So that'll be nice and clean. So I'm going to get to work on that, and then I'll be back with you. Alright, so I cut this tab a little shorter. I also marked a hole on it, which I think I'm going to have to raise the hole up a little bit so it fits in here better, but just kind of see how it lines up. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to have to be cut higher, drilled higher, I guess. But that should... Alright, so I remarked this just a little bit higher. I think it should sit pretty much right where I want it, hopefully. At least that's my plan. So it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go drill this out and mount it on there. We'll go from there. Alright, well I got the bracket on there. I think it's going to work. The only issue I see is this bolt is actually hitting the connector, so I'm going to have to get a different bolt for that, I think, and then it should fit just fine. But the only snag I've run into, other than that, I think it'll work pretty good. So, alright guys, well I got these brackets all finished up here. They turned out pretty good. I just countersunk the hole there that I drilled and put a nice Allen head fastener on there. Painted them up black, and I mean I think they look pretty dang good. Both sides. So yeah, just like factory almost. So I was doing that, and then I was working on some more wiring in here. Still just trying to get this tidied up a bit, cleaned up. So it's looking better in here. Not such a mess. But I got everything loomed, and then I got a couple weather pack connectors in here. These are for fuel pump and the fans and constant battery power.
So I got those hooked up. Next thing is I'm going to start working on that probably tomorrow. I'm also starting to work on the gauge clusters, so we'll have more content on that coming. But that's it for this video, I guess, and thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon.